Good morning, YouTubers. T-Square with T-Square Talks. Hope everybody's having a great day. Got a great video for you guys planned out today. It's something that I had gotten asked the other day, and I was just sitting here trying to think what to make my video on today. And I thought this was a great topic. If the dollar is going up, why is it everybody says that the dollar's going down? How is the dollar losing value if the dollar's going up? And a lot of people don't understand really what that means. What they think is when the dollar's going up, the DXY is going up. They assume those two mean the same thing. And some of y'all know right off what that means. If the DXY goes up, did the dollar really strengthen? Or did it go up? We're going to talk about that today. I think it's a great video. I think people really need to get a good understanding of what this means. Now, I will be honest with you. When you see the DXY go up, a lot of times that does make silver a little bit cheaper. But that doesn't mean that the dollar is really going up in value. Yes, it is going up, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's strengthening. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today. I hope you guys enjoy the video. If you do, please take a quick minute, hit that thumbs up button for me. And as always, leave me a comment. Let me know your thoughts. And I hope to hear you guys' thoughts, your comments. And if you're not subscribed, take a quick minute, hit that subscribe. And like I've been saying recently, if you are interested in becoming a member, every month we do a special event. This month we are doing a special event for 100 members. We're not quite at 100 yet, but it is very close. And we're going to be giving away this 1987 San Francisco certified MS69 Eagle. And if you don't know how this works, this is an NGC coin. You can type in that number right there on the NGC app. It's a free app, and have a shot at winning it. And you get to look it up and see what it costs. It's actually a $250 coin, so it's a pretty cool coin. And we're going to give it away in this month's members only event. For those of you guys that did do the Where's Waldo or Finding T-Square video giveaway, I thank you guys. I have already been tallying up them. I expect that I will run that giveaway the day after we do this giveaway. So we got a little bit longer to wait, but it will happen for sure this month. And it's going to be a lot of fun. As soon as we fill those last couple membership spots, if you'd like to become a member, it's only $1.99. You can hit the join button below. And a lot of cool perks that come with that. Not just the members event, but your comments go right to my phone. So with that being said, let's jump in and talk about today's video. So first thing, I'm going to read the actual official definition of the DXY. So for those of you that don't know, what is the DXY currency basket? So the US dollar index is measured of the value of the United States dollar in relative to a basket of foreign currencies. The basket of currencies consists of the euro, the Swiss franc, the Japanese yen, the Canadian dollar, or I don't know why they call it the Canadian dollar. I've always called it the Canadian loon. If you're a Canadian, answer me that, why they put Canadian dollar, because I don't call it the Canadian dollar. I always call it the Canadian loon. The British pound and the Swedish corona. I'm not sure how they pronounce that. Okay, so how is it that the dollar can go up in value, but it's still getting weaker? It's going up, but going down. So the first thing I use is an analogy. I always like to use the plane analogy. For those of you that don't know what that is, we're going to pretend for a minute that you're jumping out of a plane. You're the US dollar. You watching this video, you are the US dollar. And you're falling. Obviously, if you jump out of a plane without a parachute, you're falling to the ground. And therefore, the dollar, the US dollar, is technically falling. But when you see it go up in value, the only reason it goes up in value is because it's in relation to the other currencies that's being compared against. And it's really, I'm convinced there's a reason why they choose them currencies, because, you know, they are mostly our allies. And therefore, it's kind of easy to work with them, and we'll help you if you make our currency look stronger and this and that. So let's say you're falling out of a plane, and then all of a sudden we're going to say all of a sudden 5 other people jump out of the plane and they're falling too. All 6 of you are falling. You're all going to hit the ground at some point. Now here's the thing. Let's pretend for a minute that some of them are maybe falling faster. Some of you might be gliding. Some of you might be falling. But the eventually term is you will all hit the ground eventually. And therefore, you all are going to end the same way. And that's kind of where fiat currencies come in. You know, as these dollars are being mass produced and printed, they're all falling in value. They're all losing value. And because of that, they're all going to eventually go to zero. All fiat currencies eventually return to their true intrinsic value, which is nothing. It's a piece of paper. So when people realize that, it kind of makes them understand a little bit more. If they're all falling, they're all getting weaker. However, the US dollar is not falling as fast as the other ones. And therefore, it makes it look like the dollar's getting stronger. And it makes the other people want to be in the US dollar's position. They want to be not falling as fast. So they buy US dollars and strengthen the dollar to a certain point by purchasing those. And it strengthens us because now they're holding basically our debt, our dollars. And that's really what currency is. It's a debt. In this case, fiat currencies are a debt. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that money is debt, because money is not debt. Money is really what it's supposed to be, gold and silver. But we don't use real money anymore. The definition of money needs to be a store of wealth. It has to store your labor. And if someone has the ability to manipulate the value of it, then it's not a store of labor, because you can manipulate it to be worth less, or you can manipulate it to be worth more. Now, how do they do that? Obviously, they do that by when they print more money, it makes it technically worth less. When they tighten up, it makes it worth more. Now, there are other factors, obviously, that go into that. By holding other people's currencies, we can kind of prop them up. And we've done this to our allies before. We'll buy theirs, they'll buy ours. And essentially what really happens, we're sucking up the fiat currencies of these other countries. And they're sucking up ours. Once you realize that little game they play, you start really seeing the big picture. You know, when I was younger, I started looking into, when I had my own business, I started looking into why companies will hold large amounts of debt from other companies. And it's kind of the same thing. You know, you'll basically borrow from one company and essentially hold that IOU from them. And then some companies will hold IOUs from you. They do that so it looks good in a way. We have extra currency. But here's the thing. It really doesn't change anything. And you have to understand that, because once you understand that, you start to see the big picture that the dollar is unfortunately losing value faster and faster. Now, it's not going to happen overnight. Why would it not happen overnight? If the BRICS want to topple the dollar, and a lot of the BRICS countries, let's be honest, they're tired of the U.S. being able to use the dollar as a weapon. If they don't like something they're doing, we sanction them. And sanctions are basically a weapon. And it keeps people in line. You look at China, who's getting threatened right now with a lot of sanctions. Then essentially, if they implement that stuff, what would happen? Well, they're going to have to basically, if they want to sell their goods to us, people are going to have to pay a whole lot more. Now, sanctions don't really, free trade is what the key is. Sanctions don't really work. Yes, it does make the government more money, but it also makes prices of everything we buy go up. It causes inflation. And, you know, a lot of people think that the inflation game is pretty well over. There's a lot of people out there that think this is coming to an end. It's not coming to an end anytime soon. You know, yeah, you might see the numbers get tweaked, I guess you can say. I don't know if that's the proper word, where they'll play with the little numbers a little bit and then they'll just modify it later and say, oh, well, it was actually a little bit worse. But you don't hear those. What you hear is the numbers the day they come out. Everybody's waiting on numbers to come out for almost everything, whether it be inflation reports, job reports, all these different numbers, GDP reports, and that tells people what's going on, and that's how they place their bets on investments. And when they put them numbers out and they look good, but then they secretly, it's not really a secret, they modify it. I mean, think about it. If I got on here and told every single person that silver was going to go up and it's looking great and this and that, and then I come out maybe in a day or two or a week or whatever, and I say, oh no, it's coming down. But I put that real secretly. I hide it at the end of a video maybe. Nobody really sees all that. And that's where a lot of these things, that's why they keep fixing these reports over and over. And they keep, we're editing our numbers. You know, they correct them. And you never hear about it. And sometimes they can just wait to correct them. And it's a crazy system. And the truth of the matter is, once you realize that the dollar is losing value, you start to realize that that's why silver and gold is going up higher and higher. Countries don't want the dollar to go away instantly. Even the BRICS countries, China, Russia, they don't want, well, maybe Russia does a little bit. I shouldn't even be saying them because they're kind of a touchy subject here on YouTube. We're not really supposed to talk too much about that. But, you know, you take China. China is holding a lot of U.S. debt still. Have they gotten rid of a lot? Yes, but they're still holding a lot. They want to get rid of theirs, the hot potato, before it's over. I mean, I don't know if you ever played like the hot potato game. You know, you don't want to be stuck holding it when the music stops. And they've got a lot still, but they're working on getting rid of them. Once they have gotten rid of theirs, there's not much the U.S. can do to them. You know, they can't, I mean, yeah, they could sanction them, but you know what? At that point, I mean, they can retaliate too. So with that being said, I hope this video helped people understand why when you hear the dollar is getting stronger, you're understanding that it's not really getting stronger. It's getting weaker. We just don't see it because we are only comparing the dollar to those specific countries, a handful of selected countries. It'd be no different than me running a marathon and being able to pick the runners that I'm going to run against. I'm going to pick Grandma May. I'm going to pick a couple of 10-year-olds, 5-year-olds. Pick a couple more old ladies, maybe an old man, maybe a couple old men. Put someone in a wheelchair, someone with a broken leg. I mean, these are people that I could run against and beat. And that's exactly what's happening right now. The U.S. is picking the people that they're going up against when it comes to the strength of the U.S. dollar. You have to understand that, because once you see the big picture, all of a sudden you're like, oh my word, you know, what is going on? And we've all known that we've been lied to for a long time. I mean, some people still out there don't even realize that the Federal Reserve is not federal. They are a private entity bank. And once you realize that type of stuff, I told someone that the other day and they thought I was nuts. I said, go look it up. Oh, that's crazy. It's the Federal Reserve for a reason. It's the federal government. And I said, no, it's not. Is Federal Express the federal government? And, you know, all of a sudden you see that dumb look on the person's face because they just, it's almost like it just registered. And then they start wanting to look it up and then they ask more and more questions. You have to understand what's going on and use that to position yourself, because eventually the dollar is not just going to keep slowly losing value. Slow at first and then all at once. You know, it's been said time and time again, and that's exactly what's happening. It's happening slow right now because they don't want people to realize what's going on, because when everybody realizes it, they all get rid of the hot potato. But they want to make sure they're positioned before that happens because they want to leave y'all holding the bag. So with that being said, we're going to wrap up today's video. If you enjoyed the video, please take a quick minute, hit that thumbs up button. I know I didn't know if I was going to make a video this weekend, but I just had to. It's all about the schedule. Got to keep the schedule. So with that being said, that's going to wrap up the video. If you enjoyed it, please leave me a comment, hit that thumbs up button, and it really helps out the algorithm when you hit the thumbs up button. And leave me a comment, let me know your thoughts. And if you're not subscribed, take a quick minute, hit that subscribe. I hope this video helped you all out, those of you that were still maybe in the dark a little bit. It doesn't mean, you know, you don't have knowledge. It just means you got to really understand thoroughly. So I kind of want to start talking a little bit more about some of these what seem to be complicated things that really aren't as hard, I guess you can say, to understand once you kind of can use an analogy or compare it to something else. So with that being said, I can't thank you guys enough for watching and hitting that thumbs up button. I hope you all have a great weekend, what's left of it, and take care, everybody, and have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.